We love our visits with James Marilat, 1043thefan.com. James, what are your first impressions about Pat Shurmur, and we think it's going to be Mike Shula, and what this means for the Broncos offense?
I don't have a problem with these two hires. I really don't. I think the fact that this staff now will have some cohesion, where the head coach picked the offensive coordinator picked the quarterback coach. There's not, a former head coach coaching the offensive line who's looking at it going, why am I taking orders from a guy who was at Wagner, whatever it was,
right,
2 or 3 years ago?
Right.
I think it'll just make a lot more sense. The other part of it was, and it was the biggest problem with the last year of the Josh McDaniels regime, maybe not the biggest problem, but one of them. Everybody on that staff, that was the highest job they'd ever had.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
There was nobody who'd like, hey, I've been there, I've done that, let me give you some tips.
Especially offensively.
Yeah. Mike Nolan was here the first year. He'd been a head coach, and then he was the DC. But year 2, I think it was Wink Martindale. That was the highest any of them had been.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that there's a lot of guys who've done these jobs and even hired jobs before is good, especially with a head coach who's only going to be in his second year. I think it makes for a very good, solid staff. It's not anything that you're going to sit there and go, man, they're going to reinvent football. I don't think they need to. They just need to have a solid plan and be cohesive and have their you-know-what together.
What's your gut telling you this offense is going to be? Is it going to look like the Giants? Is it going to look like Andy Reid? I mean, he's got a little bit of all of it in his background, Pat Shurmur, who I'm talking about. He's worked for Andy Reid. The Giants offense certainly wasn't anything exciting to me. And then you hear John Elway talking, and he says, we're going to be a run-first, play-action team. And I'm thinking, huh? Like that's not who he is.
Right.
What do you think this is going to be?
I don't think they're going to be a run-first, play-action team. I don't.
No.
And it's like John just can't get that out of his head. He still thinks it's 1997, 98 all over again. And
those were good years.
They're very good years. And I get why he's kind of hooked on them. But, man, he keeps forcing that square peg into a round hole. I mean, they did it with Peyton. They did it for the last 3+ years. Like, we can't get Coobs. Let's go with Scangarello. Like, let's just move on. I don't think it's going to be that, but I do worry a little bit because I've never one time thought, ooh, Monday night tonight, the Giants are on. We get to watch Pat Shurmur's offense.
It's exciting.
Right? Like, not once.
Yeah.
Or, ooh, Mike Shula. That'll be fun. They'll really lighten it up. So that part of it kind of worries me a little bit. But I think it'll be a lot of shotgun, which is good, especially for Drew Lock as he tries to continue to make the transition. Right now, though, it's hard to say because, well, they're going to be a running team. I know Philip Lindsay's had back-to-back 1,000 yards, but he got to 1,000 about the most difficult way you can get there.
Oh, you sound so spiteful because you had to buy a steak dinner.
If you want to throw the ball all over, well, they better go bring in some more wideouts if they're going to do that because they have Cortland Sutton and just kind of some guys, no disrespect to...
Which I assume is why you have 12 wideouts on your top 5.
Exactly. That's why I have 3 out of my 5, 60% going wideout. So part of it's going to depend on what their personnel is, but I think they're going to add some more firepower, some more weapons, and I think it's going to be predominantly shotgun.
James, looking at your board, it's different from everyone else. I mean, we have offensive linemen. Some people have quarterbacks, have a defensive tackle, but on your board, your 5 selections are all skill positions. But your number 1 player, Trevion Diggs, actually stands out to me. Why a corner at 15?
That's based on the assumption Chris Harris Jr. is gone. So then it's, okay, well, who are your corners going to be? It's going to be Bryce Callahan coming back and a rookie would be my guess. I mean, I'm basing that off of free agency not going maybe Denver's way in terms of Chris Harris Jr., so you're going to have to replace him. I think if he leaves, you have to add somebody, so it's either going to be another free agent, which if you're going to go shop in those waters, why not just keep the guy you have, or you're going to have to draft somebody, and middle of the first round seems like a good spot to grab one.
Gary Kubiak sounds like he's about to be the next offensive coordinator for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he not the Denver Broncos offensive coordinator?
I don't know. Well, from what we hear, it's because he wanted to bring back a bunch of assistant coaches that they had already run out of here and paid to not be here and didn't want to sign them to another contract that maybe they'd have to keep paying him to not be here at some point. So I think he's not the offensive coordinator here because he's loyal, overly loyal, depending on your perspective, to some assistant coaches, whether that's Rick Dennison, whoever the list may include. If you made me guess, that would be my guess.
It's kind of painful.
He's back, though.
It's kind of painful to
Gary.
look at the success that he had. And now he's taking back on a full-time offensive coordinator role.
Yeah, what a shock I'm rolling my eyes. Can you hear
Right.
me roll my eyes?
No, I
The
can't.
whole Gary's on the couch and Gary's retired and his wife is this. Come on. I mean, Gary's been angling for this all along and he got it. And he'll bring in his own crew. He already has.
I think it would have been weird if he'd have come back as
Of
the
course.
OC. It
Of
would have
course.
been like Tony Granato
Listen.
coming back as an assistant coach. It's odd.
It was odd, and I think Vic Fangio did the right thing because he has to establish himself as the guy. Everybody would have been looking. I'm looking at Pat Shurmur now, like that guy. Never
Right.
mind if Gary Kubiak was here.
When they were 3-8, we would all been saying, "Man, maybe the best head coach is the offensive coordinator.
We got an interim guy right
Yeah,
in house.
I mean, why would-
yeah.
Why
Calling
going-
for the team to make a switch.
Yeah, I mean, there certainly would have been people in this town
No,
saying
I
when they
get
were
that
3-8.
for sure. Yeah.
So, and I also think it's, you can cross the same river. It's never the same water. Sometimes you just need to turn the page and move
On 1043thefan.com, what list is up there these days that has everybody ticked off?
It's the Avs this week. So it is top 20 Avs of the 2000s. And then today we posted the top 20 Avs moments. So that's got everybody all
Top
fired
20
up.
Avs moments.
Number one is easy.
It
And
is?
then- yeah.
Is it Ray Bork in the cup?
Yeah. Game 7, 2001,
Yeah.
winning the cup at home.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Johnny had to do a little digging to put that list together. And there hasn't been a ton of great moments. And they're not all good. That's the thing. It's most memorable things. So I'm doing Broncos next week. It'll predominantly be positive. But
so it's 20. It's in the past
Positive.
20 years then, right?
yeah.
So like the Avs coming to town, the Avs winning, that doesn't count.
Nope.
You got to go past that.
This is from the year 2000 till now. The last 20 years, best top 20 players.
Well, you're not going to top win in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals
No.
with that. That's impossible. I'm trying to think what other moments really stand out.
It's why he made some people mad with his top 20 players, though, because he had certain
Right.
guys ahead of Patrick Waugh.
Bringing Patrick back has to be on that list, though, right?
Well, but that happened in the late 90s, so it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't qualify for it.
as head coach.
Yeah, and then it's also a memorable
that's
moment when that guy
memorable, right?
when
Like-
that guy walks away with a month to go
That
until
was
the season too. Like,
unbelievable.
so that's why I say they're not all positive.
Right.
There are some moments where you're like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. So it's a fun read. It's a fun walk down memory lane. I did the Nuggets last week. I'll be doing the Broncos next week. It's good stuff.
Top 20 moments in Broncos history?
Mm-hmm. Well, since the 2000s.
Since Tyler Polumbus.
So I won't be
Tyler
living-
Polumbus walking out on that field.
That's right.
I won't
Against
be
the
living in the
Chargers.
past in
Standing
97,
ovation.
98.
Yeah.
It might not be
It
the
doesn't get
moment you
old.
think. I'll just tell you
Ever.
that.
For the Broncos?
Mm-hmm.
If this is James Merlett's list like you've done in the past, it is going to be something definitely surprising.
And
for sure.
and then you'll see it and you're like, that is spot on.
Well, how
Probably.
you got to start with a Super Bowl.
like it.
Nothing tops a Super Bowl, I don't think.
I don't know.
Really?
And we're doing
All right,
pros
let
and
me
cons, right?
just really quick here.
I think the
What's
Patriots game is
what's
up
a
there.
better moment in Broncos history? Winning the Super Bowl or getting Peyton Manning?
There you go. March
Well,
20th, 2012
it would
was a
have
pretty
to be-
big moment in
That's
Broncos
a
history.
Winning the Super Bowl,
technicality there.
obviously.
That's a technicality because you're talking about like what created the moment.
We were
right?
following around white vans and helicopters like it was the
Exactly.
O.J. Simpson trial. I was holding my kid up in a tree at Centennial Airport to see if he could see over the fence. I mean, it was kind of pandemonium around
It
here.
has to be the Super Bowl, especially after losing.
Can I say something
poorly
crazy?
to Seattle.
Winning the Super Bowl, in all honesty, was almost bizarrely expected.
Yeah.
Whereas Peyton coming here was not.
It was bizarrely anticlimactic a little bit. Like really,
A little bit. It
you know.
still was awesome.
Yeah,
What
no
is
doubt.
wrong
And,
with
I mean,
you guys?
it'll make the list.
Greatest, no, not the greatest day, but as like number 4 on my list.
Number
Yeah.
4? How many
Number
kids
5,
you got?
Number 5.
Yeah, I
That's
was
number
gonna
5. Number 5 on my list. I got,
Yeah, I didn't think
a
about that.
marriage. I got a
Yeah.
marriage, and I got 3 kids. Yeah, number 5. Yeah, definitely 5, not 4.
All right,
Yeah.
James, thank you.
Yeah.
You did say 4.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
like
I
all.
said 5.
You don't really love all your kids the same. That's the way
Well,
it
I have
goes.
a favorite.
Just speak for yourself.
James Marilat, 1043thefan.com. When we come back, I kill you with truth next.
Hey, barbecue fans, Tyler Polumbus here. We got a big day coming up. The championship game in Miami on February 2nd, and you all know what that means. It's time to fire up the grills. It's time to start trying to impress all your friends and family. So head on over to Holy Smokes Barbecue, the Grill and Shops, so you can get yourself all set up. Whether you're hosting the party or whether you're just taking a dish on over to your friend's party, you will get set up at Holy Smokes. Guys, I'm talking about everything you could possibly need that is related to barbecue. Rubs, sauces, seasonings, marinades, dips, salsas, Colorado's very own green chili brands. Guys, get yourself a new grill. Why not impress with a new grill, a nice wood pellet grill? They specialize in wood pellet grills, and it's a small shop. You're going to love your experience with these guys. Skip the trip to the big box store. Go on over to Holy Smokes Barbecue, the Grill and Shops. They've got 2 locations. One's in Castle Rock, one's in Centennial, and they can turn you into backyard grilling superstar. Check them out at hsbbq.com. That's hsbbq.com.